Welcome to Based on a Book, the podcast that dives into the world of myths, monsters, and magic. No prophecy required. I'm Keri, your friendly neighborhood demigod and companion for this week's quest.
I'm Lindsey, still dancing around this god-tier drama with the grace of a satyr in combat boots.
And I'm Crystal. I know centaurs put their pants on just covering the back two legs, and I will die on that hill.
Oh my gosh. I did not see those intros coming. Okay. This is part 2 of our deep dive into The Lightning Thief. In this episode, we'll be exploring the final 4 episodes of Season 1 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus and comparing them to the first book in the original series, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. If you would like to see us discuss our book ratings and the first 4 episodes of the show compared to the book, that is in part 1, or if you would like to see us talk about the 2010 movie adaptation, that will be in part 3. It's going to be interesting. So, just a warning, this entire episode is going to be full of spoilers for both the book and the TV series. So, if you haven't read or watched them yet, grab your Camp Half-Blood shirt, avoid the monsters, and come back when you're ready to dive into the prophecy, because we'll be waiting for you. So, hurry up.
That was creepy. We'll be waiting for you.
We'll be waiting for you. We're just paused here. We're not moving.
Oh.
We're just statues. So where we left off in part 1 is Percy just jumped off the arch and is currently in the Mississippi River.
Which is gross. Anyone who's from anywhere around here along the Mississippi River Valley, we all were like, ooh, that happened. Like, nope.
Everyone cringed.
I think they even said it in the book.
They said it in the book that, like, a clean bubble of water formed around him kind of thing. And then, like, the dryad or whatever couldn't stay long because it was too polluted. And everybody from here was like, sounds about right. Yep.
And then in the series, and you saw the water, and you're like, ooh.
And that's what it looks like, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Grover's all like, humans are ruining the planet. And I'm like, yeah, we can tell.
Instead of Hephaestus, he's getting hepatitis.
Oh my god. Horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So he discovers he can breathe underwater, and now we are in episode 5, titled A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers, which is similar title to chapter 15 in the book. And we're about to see which god we're talking about. And so he's underwater. He's told to go to Santa Monica because his dad wants to see him. While that's happening, in the show, Annabeth sees the Fates cutting a piece of yarn, which is something that actually happens in the beginning of the book. Eventually, they get to a diner after causing absolute chaos in the world, where Percy is currently turning into, like, most wanted kid by police. Because he's literally causing chaos everywhere.
Everything keeps blowing up.
Yeah. And then they encounter Ares, god of war. And Ares in the TV show rides a motorcycle and fights people on Twitter. That's what he does in his spare time. That's the type of wars he's causing.
Twitter wars.
Twitter wars. Ares makes him go on a side quest to retrieve his shield from this water park. And he will give them transportation to Vegas if they retrieve this shield. In the show, Grover actually has to stay behind as collateral, but in the book, they all go, all 3 of them, to this water park to get this shield. And in the water park, it is full of traps because it's actually built by Aphrodite's husband, Hephaestus, to trap Ares. Because Ares and Aphrodite were had a little thing. So, and this water park in the show, very cool. I like this water park in the show.
I just very creepy.
Yeah, creepy and cool. I mean, I like creepy stuff. Okay, I think creepy stuff is cool. I love a scary water park, or a scary amusement park type thing. Like, that's like my favorite kind of, like,
Okay, Scooby-Doo.
setting. Yeah, I love Scooby-Doo. Hello! There are some differences on how this goes down in the water park between the show and the book, but I like how they did it in the show. There's a moment of Annabeth being like, to was it to Hephaestus? Where she's like, you could be one of the good ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they have to retrieve the shield, and Percy's like stuck, completely submersed in gold. And Annabeth is trying to get him out, and she does have this moment with one of the gods being like, you could be one of the good ones. You know, Percy's one of the good ones. He like wants to do good things, and like that could be you. And you know, Hephaestus has this moment of being like, all right, I'll let you guys go. Because throughout the entire story, Annabeth and Percy, like, they have this in the beginning, they're like butting heads the entire time.
Yeah.
And we get to see them throughout the story build like a really good friendship. And, you know, they
Basically
eventually.
trying to break those generational curses. Like, our parents hate each other, so we have to hate each other.
Exactly.
And realizing that, like, okay, maybe our parents are toxic and we don't need to keep doing that.
Yeah. We don't have to keep this tradition going with all these. And it's like, at this point, it's like, why do we hate each other? You know, why do we hate each other? Because our parents hate each other? Like, why are we
Right.
inheriting this hate from these generations up? You know what I mean? And, you know, that's something to think about.
And then in the book, they also get a scarf that belongs to Aphrodite from
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the ride.
So they bring the shield back and to Ares. So they completed their little side quest.
I'm not gonna lie, he's sitting at the table in the show with Grover and having his conversation with Grover, where Grover's kind of like, you can tell Grover's working him, like trying
Yeah.
to play to his ego and trying to get him to talk. But there's this giant stack of cheeseburgers on the table.
Fries, that pile of fries was crazy.
And I'm sitting here like, first of all, like, dang, Aries, you looking good. Who's played by Adam Copeland, who is a pro wrestler from The Edge. And I was like, okay, thinking back to our tropes episode and the types of things, I was like, I guess I really do like a bad boy. But also then it occurred to me, like, this gentleman that I happen to be seeing now and then is like, it's not really him that you like, it's the cheeseburgers. You are always really happy when there's food involved. And I was like, damn, calling me out, because those cheeseburgers looked so good.
They really did.
And then in that conversation too, they're talking about wars that ended with no bloodshed. There were no deaths. And this was playing on the fact that Ares is not only the god of war, he's also the god of conflict. And this is also why he's starting these Twitter wars, because he's just the god of conflict.
Yeah.
He's just a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to stir the tea. Like, it's honestly, maybe I do like Aries. Can you imagine, like, working in the same office? I would want to know, like, what's going on, Aries? Who's doing what now? What's going on? You know, if you tell so-and-so that she was over at his house last night, you know it's going to get wild. Like, I'd be like, let's do it.
Tempted to cause problems. Yeah, and like you said, Grover is kind of like working him to get information because, you know, this entire quest is they need to figure out who this, quote, lightning thief is, which is who stole the Master Bolt. And they're trying to get to Hades because they think Hades has it in order to cause this rift between Poseidon and Zeus. And so he's kind of trying to get to Ares, be like, so do you know who did it, kind of thing. But so they bring the shield back, and Ares gives them a backpack full of supplies and gives them transportation to get to Vegas. And it's transportation which is in a truck full of animals. And so they head to Vegas. And that kind of takes us into episode 6, titled We Take a Zebra to Vegas. And so they're riding in the truck full of animals, and in the show, Grover talks about his suspicion of Clarice, because Clarice is Ares's daughter. being the lightning thief of the Master Bowl and not Hades. And when they get to Vegas, they let all the animals free, which causes even more chaos. And then they get to the Lotus Casino, where they almost get stuck there for a while, which is a nod to the Odyssey where they eat the fruit from the lotus tree.
Eaters, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I first read this, it wasn't clicking in my head that we were in Vegas and we were at a casino. It was making me think, I felt like we were at Dave and Buster's. I was not thinking casino in my head for some reason.
Not Dave and Buster's.
I thought we felt like we were at Dave and Buster's because in the book, they go inside
arcade games.
It felt very arcade game vibes.
Yeah, like pinball machines and, you know, like video games and yeah.
Because they go in and they're like, give them a card that's like unlimited amount of tokens on this card or something, and they get to stay there for free and like for as long as they want.
And that wasn't a red flag. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, they're kids.
But even like these are supposed to be intelligent children.
True.
Like,
and there's stuck at this quote casino that I'm assuming is like a Dave & Buster's apparently. And they're just like stuck there and they're constantly playing games and everything. And then they realize, what am I here for? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't remember what our quest is anymore. And like, who are you again? And because they're just stuck in like this like cycle type of thing. And then like one time, I think Percy talks to someone. They're like, what year is it? And the guy's like, it's 1977 or something like that. And then he realizes like, oh, these people have been here forever. Like, and time is passing differently. But the show is a little bit different during this part. We actually see Hermes, and then we also see Grover is the one that gets stuck in this loop because he thinks he is going to find Pan, which is like the purpose of the satyrs in the story is like they all want to go find Pan, which is like the god of like the natural world, that Pan has been lost for a long time. And he gets like stuck in this loop to go find him and all these things. And time works differently here. And in the show, by the time they get out of this casino, summer solstice has passed. The deadline has passed. In the book, they have like a day left, I think. Mm-hmm. They still have like only one day and they get out. Honestly, that had me stressed. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry. So they get to Santa Monica.
Wait. We have to go back to the show because this is one of my favorite parts. One of the ways that they get in the show, the kids steal Hermes' keys.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In order to steal his car because he is the god of travel that like it should take them immediately over to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And again, they're 12.
Yeah.
And so Percy trying to drive this car out of the parking garage is so for real.
That was hilarious. He is hitting everything.
He's hitting everything, and then he's got to go around that because everyone knows these big parking garages in these cities, so that they're super tight, and you have to go around that curve to get down to the next level and get out. And Annabeth is like, "It's okay, you got this." And he's like, yes, I got it. And you can tell that he's like starting to get excited. He looks over at her and she's smiling and Grover's smiling. And then he's subtly scraping the whole side.
Like, as he's turning. Oh my God.
I mean, yes. I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't matter how small my car is. When I'm driving in a parking garage that's tight like that, like my whole body is puckered. Like I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
I get smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so for real. I was like, it's okay, buddy. Even when like it doesn't matter that you're just 12, everybody feels that way at every age.
Yeah. And then they pull out because like the car like transports them to their location. Mm-hmm. And when they start to pull out and he's looking over at Annabeth and semi is like coming at them and then they're transported to Santa Monica.
Small heart attack.
Scared me. I was like, oh my God. That freaked me out.
Yep.
And when they get to Santa Monica, Percy goes into the ocean to try to find his father because remember, it's like father wanted to meet him. but he receives a message from someone else instead who tells him that he missed him and that they give him pearls, which will send him back home when he's in the underworld. This may seem insignificant now, but if you stay with us to part 3, you will learn that in the movie, they changed the entire storyline to make these pearls the main plot of the movie.
Yep.
So you will see us discuss that in part 3. But I cry every single time he's trying to contact his dad or mom. I don't know what is going on. Like, literally, I kept getting emotional every time he's trying to contact. Like, I'm not, like, sobbing, but, like, I've got, like, tears in my eyes, like, whenever he's, like, trying to contact his dad or mom.
To me, I guess it was, like, in the book, it hit a little bit different because he had such a great relationship with his mom in the book, and because he had this respect for his dad in the book, even though he hadn't met him, he had these, like, warm, fuzzy feelings about him. So in the series, him being such a little jerk towards his mom and dad and then trying to get a hold of them and ask them for help, it just kind of didn't quite hit. But like in the book, when he was reaching out asking for help, it was because he thought for sure that he could count on these people. And now that his mom is entirely gone, it just, like, that did kind of hit me a little differently. Like, I didn't cry, but I definitely kind of felt it. You know what I mean? It's, yeah.
I guess I felt a yearning from the character in the show for his father.
Yeah.
I did feel I felt a yearning there, and even though he was, like, a bit of a jerk to his mom, like, being, like, a silly boy, I did still feel like he cared about her a lot in the show.
Oh, yeah, like, you could tell that he cared. You really could. But
Yeah.
when he, like, didn't have her anymore and he was all like, I don't know, like, "I have to go save my mom, and I miss my mom." Like, I guess in a way it didn't hit quite as hard as it did in the book for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
not that
get
it
that.
didn't, not that it wasn't believable, it just
Mhm.
was not quite as moving.
Yeah, like, honestly, in the book, like, he couldn't give a damn about any of this.
Yeah,
He
no.
His main focus, honestly, was his
Was
mom,
his mom.
getting his mom back.
Right. He didn't care about honor or glory or
Yeah,
solving the puzzle or proving his worth or any of
yeah.
that. He just wanted to make sure his mom was okay.
Like, the second he was given this quest, immediately he's thinking in his head, like, "I could get to my mom this way," like, he's, like, constantly questioning around, like, "Hey, like, what about the underworld?" Like, my mom could possibly be in the underworld and, like, all these things, and trying to figure out a way to get to his mom. So, yeah, I kinda agree with that. There is, like, a kind of a bit of a difference there. Yeah, but I don't know why, I just kept getting emotional every time we talk about his mom and dad. I'm like, "Oh my god. Am I okay?" Probably not. So, moving on to the book is kinda going into the content of episode 7, which is we find out the trust, sort of, and that is literally the title. And now they need to find the entrance to the underworld. And they have been on so many side quests at this point. We almost forgot what the main quest was, honestly. I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, I forgot the Master Bowl. Oh yeah, yeah." And main quest is Hades has the Master Bowl, being we need to give it back to Zeus because we need to stop this potential war between Zeus and Poseidon. And they end up in a mattress store. I mean, there's also, like, in the book and also in the show, there's also, like, other little, like, bits and pieces that you can catch on to.
Mm.
Like, they try to contact through, like, a rainbow. I forget what that is
Iris
called.
message?
Yeah, something
Iris
like that.
I aming. Iris message, yeah.
Yeah, it was, like, there's just, like, all these little bits and pieces throughout the show and book that's just, like, really fun. But eventually they end up in a mattress store with I'm gonna try really hard ones. Procrustes?
I
The
just wrote down
stretch
crusty.
Crusty, alright, we'll go
Crusty.
with that. The stretcher, where they end up almost being stretched to death on mattresses, 'cause he owns a mattress store.
He's also the same guy who plays the ferryman in the movie. The guy who plays Krusty.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. And as they are at the mattress store, because they're actively trying to find how the heck they get to the underworld, in the book, they see a flyer showing the location of a possible underworld entrance at this mattress store because it's saying heroes' souls needed or something like that. In the show, the store has actually a location to the underworld in it, and they have to like go through trapping Krusty on the mattress or something like that to get into the underworld.
And they decapitate him in the book.
Yeah. It is literally nonstop at this point in the underworld. Because, I mean, honestly, it's been nonstop throughout this entire series and this book. Nonstop action. It's just absolutely insane. Like, literally, every single page, something is happening. Every single page. Because they have to bribe their way into the underworld. They encounter Cerberus. And I love this moment a lot with Annabeth and Cerberus.
This is where I got the most choked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it. I don't think I liked it better in the book than I did in the show. But, you know, Annabeth has this moment where she's like trying to distract Cerberus with like a toy and in order so that they can get by. And it's just like so good. And Annabeth gets really choked up because Cerberus is like whining for her to come back. And I was like, Annabeth? Because Annabeth is like very like, she doesn't really have like her heart on her sleeve or anything. Like she's
very stoic, kind of standoffish.
Yeah. So when she shows like these emotional moments in the show or in the book, like whether it's with her friends or just in general, it just like it hits me.
I was more sad about the dog.
Yeah.
Where Cerberus is over here, like, please, someone play with me. Like, probably nobody's played with that dog in centuries.
I mean, it's a big ass dog with
get a big ass ball. I don't care.
3 heads.
3 balls.
Was playing with them.
Right.
She threw that ball into the water and he was trying to get to it. I was like, oh no.
I know. I was like, the least you could have done was throw it in the like ground somewhere so you can get to it. I felt so bad. Poor dog.
Dog
Poor hellhound.
Dog is actively trying to kill them. Poor dog.
He just wants to play.
Yeah.
Like, now I know what I want in my pockets when I cross over. Yeah. If I ever get to the River Styx, I know what to do.
Yeah. Make sure you have a toy.
Coins and a dog toy.
Yeah.
Maybe some treats.
Yep.
For the good boy.
As they're going through the underworld, they see like I believe like the Field of Punishment where the heroes go. Just like a bunch of different stuff. There's like even like a little sign that's like, welcome, newly deceased.
Asphodel.
Yeah.
The Asphodel, which, again, there's a bajillion and a half retellings and a bajillion and a half different ways and a bajillion and a half different references to this. But like Asphodel, the fields, the fog, that's been referenced so many times. But one of my favorites is in Avatar Legend of Korra, the fog of forgetting is one of my favorite references to Asphodel. So just had to bring that up. Anytime I can bring up Avatar, I'm gonna.
Yeah. My only experience with this, I mean, is like any like type of like Hades Persephone retelling kind of thing in romance. That's like a huge trope that people do. But I don't have like a ton of experience reading a lot of that. But this was like, I don't know. I thought this was super fun and unique. I mean, for like a middle grade book and like doing all this stuff and describing the underworld, I thought it was really good.
Absolutely.
And I think they show it in the show really well as well. They also go into, I can't remember what this is called, but it's like this forest of like regrets or something. And Annabeth.
Elysium? No, that's the good place. I don't remember.
It's like this where they're trapped by their regrets by these like roots that are growing in the ground. And Annabeth gets caught there. And this only happens in the show. This doesn't happen in the book. And Annabeth gets caught there and must use, because they came with 4 pearls, and they must use Grover lost one.
Right. Well, Cerberus ate it.
Yeah. And Annabeth gets caught in it in a root because of a regret, and gets caught in it and must use the pearl to get back to the camp with it. And Grover eventually also is nearly dragged to like Tartarus by Luke's flying shoes. And during this time in the show, they also discover Percy has the Master Bolt in his backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And who gave him the backpack?
Yup.
Ares. And
Jerk.
he's like, what? He's like, what the hell? I don't have the Master Bolt. What the heck is going on? So Percy eventually, after encountering all these different things that happen, meets Hades, and Hades has his mother captured, frozen in time. This is my only issue in this show. I'm sorry, but this is not my Hades.
Okay.
I'm with you.
This is not my Hades.
This
Hades
cast choice
is
was
not
not
like funny.
Yeah. It was not a bad cast choice, but it was not a good one either.
Yeah.
This is giving Hercules Hades.
Yeah, exactly. This is...
Yeah.
And that... I wanted a craftier Hades. Like a... I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I did not want... I don't know. I didn't want comedy Hades. Like, he was like a comedian, and like, I don't know. Like, he was like trying to be... I wanted him to be like dark and scary. That's what I wanted. And he wasn't doing dark and scary. And I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about how terrible Hades was. And in the book, Hades is described as like every terrible person that you know in history. That is Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you see him, he's every terrible person that's in history.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, this is not Hades. This is not Hades.
Mm-mm.
I just like, it just like wasn't fitting the vibe for me. But Hades is pissed because he also wants, he doesn't even like, he wasn't even looking for, this is where things were getting like confusing for me in the book a little bit, because he doesn't even want this lightning bolt. He wants the helm of darkness, which is missing, his helm of darkness, and that's what the Furies has been looking for.
Yep.
And Percy's over here like, that's not part of the quest. What the hell are you talking about? And
because Hades didn't want anybody to know that the Helm of Darkness was missing.
Yeah.
Because to admit it was missing is also to admit that it was stolen, and that he might not have the power that he's supposed to have right now and make him look weak.
Yeah.
So he hadn't told anybody.
Yeah. And so at this point in the book, this is when Percy realizes he's carrying the bolt in his bag. And realizes that Ares is the one that gave him the bag. And in the movie, or in the show, he is like, has this moment where he's like putting everything together. And he's like, oh, it must have been Kronos that put everybody up to it. And like has been like manipulating everyone because he knows that he's been having these nightmares. Remember that one scary thing from Cowardly Dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
return the slab.
Yeah, return the slab. He's been visiting my dreams. And I think that he's been manipulating Ares, and it's the reason why this Master Bolt is here in my bag. So then, Hades is like freaking out about it, and then they decide to escape the underworld without his mom, with a promise to come back for his mom, because his mom is stuck there in the underworld. Like, Hades is using his mom as like
collateral.
Yeah, collateral. And so when they escape with the pearls, they are immediately confronted by Ares on the beach, because the pearls send them back to that like original house that they have on the beach. that they had with his mom. So then it moves into episode 8, the book does, titled The Prophecy Comes True. During the last 2 episodes of the show, we're getting a lot of like flashbacks of his mom's struggles of trying to protect Percy as a kid, like moving around schools. And eventually we actually see a Poseidon reveal during a flashback.
I really love this particular flashback.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the book.
No.
But I just love this moment of Percy's mom feeling like she's failing, because that's a very typical parent feeling, to feel like you're not doing the best or being the greatest parent. And so she like makes a little offering of the sundae or whatever, which I thought was kind of crappy, because like it was a half-eaten hot fudge sundae from the counter or whatever that she like.
That? Yeah.
How is that an offering? But whatever,
Yeah.
it worked. And so like it kind of like she makes this offering, and I guess maybe sends up a silent plea, and he comes strolling in the door and he sits down next to her. They don't look at each other, they don't touch each other, and you know, and she's just like, I'm failing and I don't know what to do. And she kind of admits this weakness, and he is like, you are doing the absolute best you can with what you have. You are amazing. And he has the greatest mother any boy could ever want. Like, he's very super supportive, and it was just seeing 2 parents help to support each other like that. And then when he was like, why don't you send him to camp? Like, what, you know, and she was like, because I don't want your family anywhere near him. And he was like, yeah, I get it. You know, like.
Yeah.
It's also Toby Stephens from Lost in Space.
He's also in Jane Eyre.
Mm-hmm. And he was a really good Poseidon. Like, played off that like linen shirt and linen pants.
He's in his beachwear.
Yeah, like not quite Jimmy Buffett, but almost.
He was just missing a shark tooth necklace, and he would have been good to go.
Pretty much.
That's all he was missing.
It was pretty much. It was pretty good. I was like, okay, I get it. I believe that's somebody who lives on the ocean. Like,
yeah. It was interesting. I wonder what the purpose was of doing these, like starting these flashbacks with the last 2 episodes. I mean,
I cannot remember if that happened in the books, but I feel like it maybe did, and they just introduced it a little early. I feel like that might be a thing, but again, my memory of these books is unreliable. So,
yeah, it definitely like tied into what was happening current day in the show, but yeah, I thought it was interesting that we weren't getting continuous flashbacks throughout the entire series of the first season. So that was cool. And I've been looking for, what does Poseidon look like? I need to know. So I was excited to finally get that reveal. So then we have a full-blown duel with a god, Percy and Ares, fighting each other. Percy really hates Ares. He really hates him. He's like, Ares reminds me of like every single like bully, every single like he reminds me of Gabe, my stepdad. Like, he just like, I can't stand, like, he mouths off to him all the time, and everyone's like, dude, that's literally the god of war. Like, chill out. Like, he cannot stand him.
I'm over here like, poor Ares. He's so misunderstood.
Oh my god.
Wish Ares would buy me a cheeseburger.
For real.
Wish he'd take me on a date.
Well, yeah, I'll go to the water park with you.
Oh my gosh. So eventually Percy wins against Ares and gives the helm.
Right in the Achilles.
Yes. That was actually really good. I love that. Hits him right in the Achilles, and, you know,
draws first blood, and that's all he had to do to win.
Yeah. And Ares is like, you just made like an enemy for life right now. And then the helm appears.
In the book, that was scary, because he was like, you've just made an enemy for life. Every time you raise your sword, every time you have to find the high ground, like, he was like, you will lose every freaking battle ever. I'm cursing you.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, he's a hero. You can't do that to a hero.
Yeah.
Like,
that was kind of wild.
I was like, ooh, part of me needs to go back and look up that curse. It was a really good one. Like,
Yeah.
I need to use it.
Yeah. I honestly, I wonder how that's going to affect him, like, in the future as he's, like, going on throughout the series. Crystal's like,
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember. I wish I remembered. I'll
That's
tell
hilarious.
you. That's
Oh,
it was 20 years ago. Give me a
no,
break.
I know. That's just funny. But so the helm appears and it is given back to the Furies to take to Hades. And when Hades realizes that Percy is not the thief of the helm or the Master Bolt, Hades returns Percy's mom. And Percy decides that he's going to take the Master Bolt back to Olympus. And in the book, he meets Zeus and Poseidon together, explaining that Kronos may be involved in having a moment. He has like a moment with Poseidon. In the show, it is way cooler. I love this part in the show. Much more dramatic, too, of a reveal. So in the show, he goes to Olympus, and it is just Zeus that's there when he goes to return the Master Bolt. I think Zeus is like really well done. I like Zeus.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love him.
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Yeah. I love him. And this, whenever he gives the Master Bolt to him, I forget what Percy says to him, but that makes Zeus angry. But Zeus attempts to attack Percy. And then Poseidon comes out of nowhere and grabs Zeus. And like the way that it's shot, it's like Percy's like facing away, and you just see like Poseidon come in really quick. And Poseidon says that he surrenders because at this point, it's past in the show, it's past summer solstice. So he's like a little late returning the Master Bolt. So they're actively preparing for this war.
And Zeus is like adamant that there is a war, and it doesn't matter that you brought this Master Bolt back.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me my stuff back, but you still did not complete your quest in time, and there is still a war.
Yeah. So Poseidon's like, I surrender because he's like, I surrender. Done. I surrender. And Zeus is like, all right. And then it's like done. And Poseidon and Percy like have this like, it's not like it's like an emotional moment, but Percy's still like very standoff to
Well,
Poseidon.
and I like the way it was done both in the book and in the show, because like without having to say it out loud, Poseidon knows I was an absent father. There is no reason that this kid should accept me or should in any way whatsoever listen to me. And Percy is like, he was an absent father. I don't want to not know him, but also like he better not try to hug me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it was kind of well done in both the book and in the show that they had this like mutual respect for each other without crossing that awkward line.
Yeah. Yeah. In the book, Poseidon says there's a gift back at his mom's apartment, and it's actually Medusa's head. So that they can possibly use it on Gabe. But
oh no, darn.
Yeah.
Not Mr. Ugliano.
Oh no, Ugly's not gonna be here anymore.
Bye.
Bye, Ugly.
Bye, Ugly. At this point, the story is kind of feels like it's wrapping up, and he's kind of going through all the prophecies in his head of what came to light and what kind of still feels open. And he knows a friend still has to betray him. And that friend is Luke.
No!
No, Luke! Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see this coming.
Oh my gosh! Keri!
The clueless detective strikes again.
You were getting so good for a little bit there.
It wasn't one of those times where you're like so shocked that it happened. It's like I wasn't predicting it because I was just like kind of going with it.
Right.
And then it happened and I was like, oh wow. Okay. Like it was more like that. It wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It was more like, oh, okay, it's making sense. Okay.
So I knew that. Like, I did remember that part.
Mm-hmm.
And rereading it, I found so many smaller clues that I probably missed the first time that were like, oh, okay, this is really obvious. Like, going back and looking at it now, like, oh, he really spelled it out for me, didn't he? There's Keri over here, like, didn't see that coming.
I knew it from the moment that, so when he got the prophecy that someone he called friend was going to betray him, I knew it was going to be him because in the book they explain that Hermes is the god of thieves, and
Yep.
Luke is the one that stole the backpack with the supplies for him when he joined their cabin.
Yep.
Okay.
And someone had stolen the Master Bolt. I was like, oh, it's Luke.
It's
I'm
so
not gonna-
obvious
I'm
when
not gonna
you know what you're
lie.
looking for.
I had a theory that it was Annabeth
Oh,
that was going to
Lord.
betray him and I thought she had stole the Master Bolt. But, like, for good reason, not for, like, bad reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That was my theory in the beginning.
Also, in the book, they explained that the camp had gone on a trip to Olympus, and Luke was leading the group.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, of
Because
course.
Annabeth was there during that trip, and she had her hat and stuff like that. So I was thinking during that trip, and I swear I thought she said, and she was the one who brought up that as people are talking about something was stolen, and she was saying that she really wants to go on a quest.
Well, there'd be
so that
no
she can
point
leave.
in her stealing Hades' helmet because she had the hat. She could already turn invisible.
Right.
Well, I thought, I don't know. I was trying to be like, oh, I got this. Don't worry, I got it. No, Keri, you don't
Okay.
got anything.
Oh,
Maybe next time. Maybe the next book.
Middle grade book got me again. Oh my god.
Good thing we're not detectives. Just saying.
I'm like the person that's like, you're like, my answer was 21. Lindsay's like, I got 102. I'm like, I got Abraham Lincoln for some reason. I don't know. I mean, that's how it goes, I guess.
Oh, Lord.
it's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Oh my god. Okay, so Luke is the one who betrays him. He's the one who summoned the monster in the beginning of the book, that hellhound that was on in the camp. He's also being manipulated by Kronos, and Luke thinks the gods should just be overthrown and tries to kill Percy with a scorpion for not joining him because he wants Percy to join him to overthrow the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the book, in the movie, kind of the same thing, but he doesn't have like the scorpion situation, and then they kind of fight each other. But eventually Percy faints and wakes up being helped by Annabeth again, and the story and show end with Luke disappearing. And it's also like the ending kind of feels like, I don't want to bring up Harry Potter again, but Harry Potter feeling where they're all going back to their families and we'll see each other when we come back to camp or school again next year kind of thing.
Yep.
And that's kind of how it feels. In the show, it shows Percy still having nightmares of Kronos or that creepy thing, from Courage the Cowardly Dog episode, as he is living at home with his mom. Because he does have a decision where he can either go home or stay at the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides to go home with his mom. And that's where the show and first book, The Lightning Thief, wrap up. So the show has been renewed for a second and third season.
Yay.
So to follow the second and third book in the series, which is Sea of Monsters and the Titan's Curse, Disney Plus says it will be streaming 2025. I believe the second season is supposed to be streaming December of 2025. So overall thoughts? I know we're going to touch on any insights we wanted to talk about that we didn't get into these episodes in part 3, but anything we want to add, like something that stood out to either of you? Anything?
I just really liked it. I was really excited about how well it followed the book. And so I'm pumped about what season 2 might have to offer.
Yeah. I'm really excited for season 2. I'm excited to continue in the series. I'm excited to keep reading. I'm pretty sure that the author has published spin-offs where they're in high school, I believe, like brand new ones.
There is a book that just came out in like 2023, I think. So just a couple of years ago. Outside of the original 3. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, so I'm excited to keep reading it. I'm definitely interested in keep reading it, and I'm excited to see what Disney Plus is going to show us in the other seasons.
Absolutely.
So that is a wrap for today's episode, fellow demigods. We hope you enjoyed this quest and that we didn't leave you fighting off any monsters along the way, though we wouldn't be surprised if a few popped up. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow campers. Until next time, may your day be filled with good prophecies and even better adventures. We will catch you in the next chapter of Based on a Book. Bye!
Bye!